Talk to you tomorrow.
While Alex is talking to me. I was proper into that then and she just disturbed me. Hi there again, booktube. Leanne here and welcome back to another video. I am filming today the mid-year freakout tag because it's already like mid-June for some reason, somehow. I don't know where the year's gone, honestly. It's just flown by and I just can't believe it's gone. Like, how is it mid-June already? So I saw a few people do this video and it kind of knocked me for six because, like I say, I can't believe it's already mid-year. But yeah, let's get to the mid-year freakout tag and let's get started. So the best book you've read this year, so that for me would be Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. And I've got to say that this is the absolute best book I've read so far this year. I've read it twice this year. It's so good and I adore it so much. So absolutely Gideon the Ninth. Harrow and Harrow the Ninth and Six of Crows. They come in very close as well. They are all absolutely beautiful books. There's another reread I read this year was The House in the Cerulean Sea, another absolutely brilliant book. So they are like top tier books that I've read this year that I can think of. But I would say Gideon the Ninth is completely top of the list. It's also the first book I read this year. So I started off really, really well. Next one is the best sequel you've read this year. And for me, that was Bloody Rose by Nicholas Eames. Absolutely fantastic book. I'm yet to read Crooked Kingdom, so that might be another one. That's actually my next read coming up. But yeah, Bloody Rose is the absolute best sequel I've read so far this year. Stunning cover, stunning book, LGBT representation, fantastic book. I highly recommend Nicholas Eames' books. They are stunning and fantastic. So the next one is a new release that you haven't read yet, and just recently a book called The Jasmine Throne came out. I will post the front cover here. And it just sounds fantastic. It's a sapphic romance between a royal and a servant of some sort. And we can hear cars outside, and this is really frustrating. But yeah, it's a sapphic romance between royalty and a servant of some kind, or a priestess or something along those lines. And that sounds fantastic to me. Everybody's loving it at the moment, and I'm dying to get my hands on a copy. So the next question is the most anticipated book of the second half of the year, and for me this is Six Crimson Canes by Elizabeth Lim, and that sounds really good. It's about a girl, her brothers all get turned into cranes, or at least some of them do, maybe all of them, and with every word she speaks, one of them will die. So basically, she can't talk, and that sounds really, really interesting to me. That's the premise that I know of it so far, and I'm excited to get to that. The biggest disappointment for me this year was Dry by Neil Shusterman, and I think this was his debut novel, so I'm not going to say much on this. I don't know if it was or not, but I did not like this book very much. I read it after reading the Scythe series, which I adored with all my heart, but Dry was just not that for me. It was okay, and I liked the premise and everything. I think it's probably just me. I'm not a fan of books set in this world as much as I am in fantasy worlds, so I don't know if it was my mind space or what, but it just I don't think I like it at all. It's just not for me. It's not my style of book, and I think it was kind of predictable, so I don't know, it just wasn't for me. It wasn't there for me. Didn't like Dry that much, so quite a disappointment. So for me, my biggest surprise of the year was Harrow the Ninth, because I read Gideon and it was a really wonderful, brilliant book. And then I read Harrow just this week gone, and that book was a masterpiece. And I mean, chef's kiss, masterpiece. You have to focus from page one to the final page of the book, or else there's things that are just going to confuse the heck out of you. And even concentrating on every single page and rereading some chapters because you missed something, I still got confused as hell. 90% of that book confused my mind, and I love it. Like, normally, if a book confuses me that much, I do not like it. But getting to the end of the book, things are explained wonderfully. And this book is just a work of art. It's so unique, and I've never ever read anything like it. I would highly, highly recommend Gideon and Harrow the Ninth. And I am so excited for Electo the Ninth to come out next year because.
Good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
Well, Alex is talking to me. I was proper into that then, and she just disturbed me. But yeah, Electo the Ninth comes out next year, and I am really, really excited to see what Tamsin gives us next. I just don't know. It could be anything, and I can't wait. So going into the next question from the last one, because it's kind of similar, my new favourite author. So it would be Tamsin Muir, because fantastic, she wrote 2 perfectly wonderful books, and I can't give them anything but 5 stars. They're perfect. And it is exactly the same for Kings of the Wild and Bloody Roses I not long showed you. They are both 5 stars for me as well. I cannot fault them in any way, shape or form, and I would read them again in a heartbeat. They are gorgeous books. So all 4 books I just mentioned. So Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth, Kings of the Wild and Bloody Rose. Perfect books. And I would definitely say that Tamsin Muir and Nicholas Eames are my new favourite authors, or 2 of my favourite new authors, because brilliant. Chef's kiss. So the next one is New Fictional Crush. And for this, I'm just going to say Gideon, because how can you not have a crush on Gideon? Perfection. Perfect character in a book. And I just love following Gideon. I'm so happy with that book, you don't even know. But yes, definitely Gideon. So following on to that, it's newest favourite character, and I have a lot of favourite characters. Like with every book I read, I will get a favourite character. But ones that have stuck out to me are definitely Inej from Six of Crows. Inej is a wonderful, beautiful character, and I can't wait to dive back into Crooked Kingdom to get to see more of her, because I am so excited. And I'm so scared that something bad is going to happen to her. I think Inej is perfect. The next one is Lan from the Never Tilting World. Lan is wonderful, and I loved following her as a character. She was my favourite. And then my other favourite character would be Cura from the Bloody Rose book. She is a wonderful, wonderful character, and I love her story arc, her storyline, and the tattoos she has and what the tattoos do. It is just wonderful, and yeah, they are 3 of my new favourite characters. I love them all. But the next question is a book that made you cry, and I'm sure nobody's going to be surprised when I say Heartstopper Volume 4. I pretty much wept reading the second half of this graphic novel, reading the second half of this comic, because it killed me, and I love it, and it's beautiful. I cried from happy, I cried from sad, and I just want to protect these characters so much, and they mean everything. They're beautiful. But moving on from that, a book that made you happy, and for that I'm going with The House in the Cerulean Sea. Literally just finished it today, and yes, I was happy. I cried. I felt every emotion, and I will protect those kids with my life. I know they're fictional, but I adore them so much, and they make me happy. That book is just my heart and soul, and I loved every moment rereading it. I know I said I don't like books from the real world earlier, but this did not feel like the real world. This was my heart, and those kids in that book are just so lovely, and I adore them and I cried so much. And every single noise is happening now I'm filming a video. Like the ice cream van is coming early. He doesn't normally come for another 2 hours yet. Go away, ice cream van. But I thought it was stopping and not. No. But yes, House on the Cerulean Sea was just beautiful. I highly recommend. If you want a happy read, read it. The next question is the most beautiful book I've bought so far this year, and that has to be Witches Steeped in Gold. I mean, that is a stunning cover, and I adore the look of this. I mean, I would buy this as a cover buy, but the synopsis is beautiful too. I am dying to read this. I haven't read a book about witches in ages, and this looks gorgeous. Stunning cover, and I bought this this year, so yay. The next question is, what book do you need to read by the end of this year? And for this, I'm just going to go with Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. There's so many books I need to read by the end of this year, but I'm just choosing this one. So yeah, I want to get up to date with Sarah J Maas books basically, and I'm trying to do month by month, so we'll see more of that. So the final question is some of your favourite book community members. And for this, I'm just going to name some booktubers that I watch basically every video they make. And I really, really love their content. So I'm going to say Katie from Brightness Katie Reads, Holly from Holly Hearts Books, Ro from Wandering Through Worlds, Kevin from The Irish Reader, Alan from the Library of Alexandria, Cindy with Cindy, G from Book Roast, and Jessie from Bowties and Books. They are all fantastic booktubers, and I will link all of their channels in the description underneath. I would highly recommend you follow them all. They are fantastic. Yes, that is the end of this book tag, and again, I can't believe it's mid-June, and I'm so happy to be part of the book community again. As you might know, I stopped booktube for a while because I had my little boy and I wanted to focus on him for the first 3 years of his life at least. He will be going to nursery soon and he can kind of entertain himself just while I make and edit videos at the moment, so that's all good. And yeah, he'll be going to school in September, which is crazy. Like, everything's going by so fast, including this year. My son growing up has just flown by to this point. And yeah, I'm so excited to be back to chat with you guys about the books that we love, and I am just so grateful for all of my followers, all my subscribers. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, TTFN!